All right, guys. So, good evening and welcome to the show. This is Sports Roundup. It comes up every Sunday live on Facebook and on YouTube. And as we said last week, we're doing it concurrently. So, we are live on Facebook right now. Those of us watching us on Facebook will attest to that, as well as we're also live on YouTube. On Facebook, it's Sports 101. On YouTube as well is Sports 101. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to both channels on Facebook, like our page, join us, grow the page. On YouTube as well, comment, subscribe, like our videos, join us, grow the page. Kofi,
Hello, Lucky.
another interesting weekend of sports.
Interesting weekend of sports, and it's been wide and varied, and it's been interesting.
Very
Like you said,
interesting.
very interesting. You look at some of the results that have been garnered across the various sports, from basketball to tennis. We are preparing towards the French Open.
Yeah.
So from basketball right down to, and the basketball also, we are in the playoffs. You understand? So from basketball right now to tennis to motorsports to
Lots of happenings
lots
in
of
the world of
happenings
sports.
in the world of sports, and so we are here to serve you with nothing but the best, and
Exactly.
we hope to make this a regular fixture on your calendar every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. We'll be here live, and expect the best coverage in terms of sports, in terms of everything, proper introspection, and then everything proper analysis.
That's true, but let's do a quick tour around the world of sport before we get into the issues. Today, we are going to zero in on the run in. It looks like Liverpool are out.
They're out.
They bowed out. I think respectfully they've thrown in the towel. So we are going to look at the run in properly, as well as we're going to look at what happened to Liverpool. There is talk of almost an agreement reached between Feyenoord and Liverpool, just some few paperwork and document issues. We're going to have Ancelotti come in as the new Liverpool manager next season. We're going to look at what he brings to Liverpool, what went into the decision to hire him. They bypassed the likes of Zinedine Zidane, the likes of Hans Flick, Joachim Low, lots of top-notch managers around Europe. They decided to settle on somebody literally unknown in the world of football, especially when it comes to the major European leagues. Is Liverpool or Michael Edwards cooking something? Then today we're going to center our discussion on Jurgen Klopp. There's been lots of conversation about this man, and the question is simple. At the end of his tenure with Liverpool, should we consider him amongst the Premier League greats in terms of managers? When all is said and done, he will obviously be inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame, basically because of what he's done with Liverpool. But do you think that he should be considered among the great managers or the greatest managers that have plied their trade in the English Premier League? That is where we're going to center our discussion on. So for the Liverpool fans out there, I want to know what you think in the comment section. Those watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll be doing, Kofi will take YouTube, I'll take Facebook, or Kofi will take Facebook, whatever it is. We'll be reading your comments concurrently, and Percy would also, share his views as well. And it's going to be an interesting discussion, void of, our trolls and everything. We're going to look at the cracks of the issue. Does Jurgen Klopp really deserve his flowers? Because, I don't want to preempt, but Kofi, a quick one. Let's do a quick one. As we speak, the Knicks are taking on the Sixers, and it's actually 2-1 right now. The Sixers are playing at home, and the Sixers are leading the Knicks in the second quarter, 44 to 42. The game is ongoing. But yesterday we saw the Lakers, avoid being swept by the Nuggets. Big fourth quarter by LeBron James. He's bowing out, making sure that he cements his legacy in the world of NBA. He's already done that, but he wants to take it a notch higher. They literally avoided being swept by the Nuggets, and ironically, it's their first win against the Nuggets in almost over 2 years. It's
over 12 games.
Over
Close
12
to
games, sorry.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Very, very crazy. It tells you how tough the Nuggets are. On the other hand, the Phoenix Suns are 3-0 down at the hands of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards. Listen, this guy, for me, together with a couple of young chaps in the NBA, they are the future of the NBA. That boy is not being talked about much, maybe because he plays for the Timberwolves, because he was playing for maybe the Lakers or he was playing for the Celtics. We'll probably be mentioning his name in the circle of Jason Tatum on how some of these young guys are being, because I think Anthony Edwards, he's so good and he believes in his talent. A quick one on basketball.
Well, I think that you rightly talked about the fact that I want to start with the Anthony Edwards scenario. And this is a young chap, like you said, very confident about his game. He can virtually do anything. He can shoot three-pointers very well. In fact, it's one of the areas that he worked on in the summer. I mean, making all of those mid-range shots. And then the three-pointers, and he's super athletic, and very athletic. Likes to drive to the rim and all of that. But you know, the issues are very simple. It's almost a cliche in the basketball world that great defenses win you the most accolades, or they bring you the most titles. And if you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's no coincidence that they have the best defense in the league. And I mean, in the just ended 70+ games in the NBA, the Minnesota Timberwolves have the best defense in the league. And then
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. I mean, and you know, the Minnesota Timberwolves is a cluster of young players who are willing to sacrifice their bodies for each other. Yes, you could have poster boys in Anthony Edwards. Occasionally, you could have also Carl Towns, and you understand. Carl Anthony Towns, and you could have all those superstars in there, but they are experienced guys in there. There's Gobert, you mentioned Gobert. There's another one in there. I struggle to get the name of, but they are very interesting. Daniels is in there, and so you realize that I'm not too surprised about what they are doing. I mean, to be the best team in the West. To be the #1 team in the West says a lot about the tenacity and the drive that the Timberwolves are carrying. You know, they come up against the Suns. The Suns have also gone through all of their turmoils. I mean, and then they established a 3-man superstar.
They never had the opportunity to play together.
Exactly. So there's Kevin Durant, there's Booker, there's Bradley Beal. These are supposed to be bona fide superstars, you understand? But you look at the differential. Exactly. I mean, as one of their bigs. I mean, but you look at the configuration of the series, and you look at the fact that even yesterday, the Timberwolves had to overly dominate the Phoenix Suns. I think it's done for the Suns. I mean, in the history of the NBA, no team has been able to come down from 3 games down. And so it's never been done. It's never been done. And so I don't see the Suns coming back. But I mean, my Lakers, I am not too excited about the Lakers now. I think that the Lakers were trying to build something very exciting. And I've always said that in the last 3-4 years, since the Lakers had to win in the bubble, last 3-4 years, they've not had really a stable team. Yes, there are 2 great superstars in AD and LeBron James, but the point has always been the core around these superstars. Pelinka together with Jenny Bass had to do all of these tradings, and eventually had to bring people like Vandy Bilt in there. They had to bring Hachimura. They had to bring D'Lo in there. And there's Austin Reeves, who's one of the Lakers. But, you know, I think that if you are really not a basketball fan, you would not appreciate the tiny details when it comes to basketball. In all of the 4 games that the Lakers have played against the Denver Nuggets, they have led at halftime, save probably the game 3, you understand, where the Denver Nuggets had to lead at halftime. Especially in the game 2. I think yesterday's victory makes the game 2 very painful as a Laker fan, you understand? Because in the game 2, very, very close. I mean, going into the 3rd quarter, the Lakers were leading 20+ points. And you expected that for an experienced duo, and for people who are familiar with basketball, there's something called pick and roll, you understand? I mean, where you have a 2-man action, exactly. I mean, you have a 2-man action where your point guard together with the power forward or the big at the front get to exchange passes and then drive to the rim. They get to beat all of the perimeter defense inside. The Lakers were expected that to be the close-out option for the game against the Denver Nuggets. But I mean, hello. I mean, this is the Lakers. Let's see what happens when they go back to Denver. Probably they are unable to make a game in Denver, come back to LA for the game 6. It could be all, you know.
They could
But make no mistake. I mean, the Denver Nuggets are the best team in the NBA at this material time. They are properly coached. They have all the right fits. You understand? Not too glamorous. I mean, probably you take away Jovic. You understand? Jokic. Sorry, you take away Jokic. You take away Jamal Murray, and you know Jamal Murray has an interesting story.
There's another third guy. His name,
Gordon.
You know,
Gordon.
Not Aaron Gordon, but
Aaron
there's another
Gordon,
guy.
yes,
his name keeps, you know, escaping me.
He
does his business under the radar.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
Michael Porter Jr. I think that the Denver Nuggets are a beautiful fit. And you know, there's another story about Murray. You know, he had an ACL tear.
Yeah.
And many people didn't think that he would have that level of explosiveness coming back into his fold, but he's fitted very well. Beautiful point guard, shooting guard, and he's able to play that two-man game together with Jokic. And I think that the other interesting ones has to be the Celtic and the Miami Heat. Yesterday, the Celtic went to Miami and then
they decimated them.
They played. I mean, Mazzulla has come under a lot of criticisms. I mean, for the way the Celtics have played. But I think that two fundamental things about the Boston Celtics: they hinge their game on solid defense, and then they have shooters all over the pitch. You understand? All over the court. If you should put it that way.
If we decide to talk about basketball, trust me,
we are not going to go today.
That's what, you know. Yeah. I thank God I'm surrounded by guys who know their sports. This is truly sports 101. So if we spend all our time on basketball, as time goes on, I mean, the playoff just kicked off. We'll get into the second round, the semifinals, both the conference finals. Then we get to the finals proper. But maybe next week I'll ask my guys, is there a weakness in, Jokic's game? Is there a weakness? And how do you stop a big like that? You know, do you surround him with about 3 bigs in the likes of Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and maybe you add another? Because I was watching a repeat of the final in the bubble where they took on the Nuggets, and I think that's about the only way. You know, they had Dwight Howard at the time, and so Dwight Howard, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they did the business on him. Well, and it's about surrounding him with, or else there's no way you can stop his game.
I think that if you go back to the bubble, the Lakers had a better team than the Denver Nuggets. Back then, they had guys like Caldwell Pope, who is now with the Denver Nuggets, and then they had Green, you understand? I mean, these were perimeter shooters.
And they had, my man, the silent assassin, Rajon Rondo, one of the most smartest, basketball players.
I mean, I tell you.
Get your hands on. But this is Sports 101. We just did a quick, turnaround in the world of basketball. So the playoff is still ongoing. The Western Conference is happening. The Eastern Conference is happening. We'll keep you updated as the games go on. But it's all about the Premier League running. And as I said earlier on, we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube as well. Keep your comments coming. What do you make of the chances of Arsenal? They keep surprising people. People thought that they would drop points today, but I mean, you don't need a perfect 90 minutes to win a game. They just had an excellent 35-45 minutes, and that's all. They held their own and they beat Spurs. Great and interesting, things happening in the Premier League. City, Arsenal, raised their car. City said, okay, I'll match you and I'll also raise it. So, and City have a game in hand. Let me run by you the league table as of today, today's matches. So Arsenal have played 35 matches. They have 80 points. They have plus 57 goals. Man City, on the other hand, have played 34 matches. So Man City have a game in hand. They have plus 50 goals. 2 weeks ago, Man City were trailing Arsenal by double figures in terms of goals. And if you watch City's last 4 games, they've scored 4+ goals. That's incredible. And I looked at the record City have in the last 5 seasons, and Kofi, it's crazy. In the last 5 seasons, they've played 27 games in April. Between April and May, they've won 25 of them and drawn just 2.
Wow.
In the last 5 seasons. So
Wow.
it tells you April, May, for them to drop points is literally impossible. In the last 5 games, they've scored. In the game against Villa, they beat Villa 5-1. They beat Crystal Palace 4-2. They beat Luton 5-1. They did another 4-1 against a particular team. They beaten Nottingham Forest by 2 goals to 0.
Well, I think it was against Brighton.
Against Brighton, they beat them by 4 as well. So they know how to finish well. They are closing the gap in terms of goals scored. Right now, Arsenal lead them by just 7, and City have a game in hand. I don't want to go to Liverpool because I think that Liverpool are out of the race. But let's start from the run in. Do you think Arsenal stand a chance? Because I still think that this might go down to the wire. Arsenal have a game against Manchester United. That may be the deal breaker. People thought it was going to be Spurs, but it didn't happen. Against United are not playing well. Kofi, you will admit, I mean, as a United fan, in all honesty, you watch them against Sheffield United. Yes, they won by 4 goals to 2, but it wasn't a reflection of the play. Against Burnley, I think that if not for Onana, Burnley could have beaten Manchester United. Do you think that this United side could be motivated enough to put the brakes on Arsenal? Let's look at Arsenal. We are sending our discussion on Arsenal. And for our Arsenal fans, joining the conversation both on Facebook and on YouTube.
Well, I think that, like you said, Arsenal have surprised many, and there is a level of maturity about their game now. I think that Arteta has learned from some of the mistakes that he's committed in the course of the season.
That's true.
He's chosen to put his best foot forward. Many Arsenal supporters have cried for what they deem should be the perfect Arsenal midfield, and it looks like Arteta has responded accordingly. You look at Arsenal, anytime they've played a Partey and a Rice, what happens is that Partey, because he's very comfortable sitting in front of the defense, is able to sit in front of the defense and then allows Rice to go forward and to join the attack. And you know that with the kind of dexterity that he does carry in terms of his technical ability, he's able to wreak a lot of havoc in the final third. I think that, honestly, I thought that this was going to be a pitfall for us now. I think that they rode their luck at certain points in the game. I mean, I watched the game. No, I watched the game between Tottenham and Arsenal. I think that the referees and the VAR were a bit some way. We have not come here to talk about those details, but I think that some of the decisions were a bit questionable. But I mean, you can only play to the whistle. Exactly. They rode their luck, delivered, like you said, brilliant goal from Saka. But it was all about the release. The release from Odegaard. I think that the timing, the release, and then the presence of mind for Saka to just turn the defender in and then just put the ball at the back of the net, I think that was beautiful. And then Kai Havertz, a lot of people have had issues with him, Arteta signing him, but he's proved his worth in the run-in. I think that he's been very excellent to the Arsenal squad. But you go back to the run-in, I think that Arsenal will not win the league. Forgive me, but
because you've insisted from day one, Arsenal are not winning the league.
Arsenal are not winning the league.
They keep surprising you. You just admitted that you're surprised at how Arsenal have become very tenacious. They become very confident. They seem to have overcome that mental block. You know.
Well, Arsenal will not win the league because of City. In another world, Arsenal could probably have one hand on the league. But they are not winning the league because you mentioned the record of City in the last 4 or 5 years. You look at the number of match winners they have in their dressing room. You look at the fact that they've been there before, seen it before, and have been able to navigate their way around some of these courses. I think that the only difference between Arsenal and City now has to be the experience of City. And I think that primarily because Arsenal do not have their destiny in their own hands, I do not see City dropping any point. I mean, you know, if you watch the game between City and Nottingham Forest this afternoon, City really suffered.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be fooled by the scoreline. But if you watch the details of the game, City had to lift virtually their game to another level. And you look at the Arsenal on their bench and the fact that they were able to bring in people from their bench who could come onto the game and affect the game. I feel sorry for Arsenal, but I think that they will not win the league. One, because of the consistency of City. Two, because I think that when they come to Old Trafford, just like Liverpool came to Old Trafford and there was a little bit of derailing. You know, Liverpool have never been the same since they left Old Trafford. You understand? When it comes up, you know, when it comes to
United has given us some lethal injection.
Lethal injection. I mean, put a stick in the spokes of their bicycle. You understand? The bicycle somersault. So I think that when it comes to games between Arsenal and Manchester United, there are issues of pride. I mean, come on. I mean, there are times in history that Arsenal, together with the great Arsene Wenger, have come to Old Trafford and United have had to give them the guard of honor. I've seen Will Todd, I've seen Emmanuel Petit have come to Old Trafford and win the league at Old Trafford. I don't think that this is going to be one of those days. I think that when the big boys come to town, and especially when it will be the time approaching the FA Cup final, every player would want to play for a position in the final. So I think that there will be an extra layer of motivation for the United players to go about and deliver and do whatever they have to do. On the basis of what we've seen in the last few weeks, yes, on paper, you'd say that Arsenal will come.
It's a walk.
Yes, on paper, because I've watched United against Sheffield, I've watched United against Burnley, and I've watched Arsenal against Chelsea and against Tottenham. These are two dangerous London derbies. I've watched the way Arsenal has virtually had to cruise through all of these games. Yes, in the second half against Spurs, they gave them a scare, but the job was already done truly in the first half. So, but you look at the struggles of United, you look at the brilliance of Arsenal right now, you'll be tempted on paper to think that Arsenal could walk to Old Trafford and then do over Manchester United. But I think that matches between Arsenal and Manchester United carry a different connotation.
Okay, so
and I don't expect to see anything different on that day.
Kofi believes that Arsenal are not going to win the league, not because Arsenal are not good enough, but Arsenal are not going to win the league basically because he believes that City have that edge over Arsenal, and City are not dropping points, you know, in their remaining 4 games. Arsenal have just 3 games remaining. So on the 4th of May, Arsenal play at home to Bournemouth. I think that Arsenal will win that game. Remember last season what Bournemouth did to Arsenal? It was a 2-2 draw. Literally, it was one of those games that, you know, derailed Arsenal. Of course, Arsenal, the league, you know, the chance. Then a week later, Arsenal are taking on Manchester United. They travel all the way to the Old Trafford to take on Manchester United. Then they come back home to take on Everton in the last game of the season. I just have a feeling that we would know who would win the league in the last game of the season. But I just have a feeling United will not derail Arsenal's chances. I also believe that City are not dropping points. But let's look at City's remaining matches. So Arsenal have 3 games remaining. City, on the other hand, have 4 games. So that's the same Saturday Arsenal are playing, you know, Bournemouth. City will also be playing Wolves at home at the Etihad. We expect that City will go on to win that game. Then the following week, whilst Arsenal plays United on Sunday, on Saturday, City take on Fulham on the road. That will be a very big game. Then on the 14th of May, which is the outstanding game between themselves and Tottenham. Tottenham, for some reason, become prime Barcelona when they are playing Manchester City. So for me, that game will determine whether City will win the league or not, because after that game, they play at home to West Ham. And I think that they will beat West Ham at home. So if it just happens that on that fateful Tuesday, City drop points, trust me, I think Arsenal might just win the league. But let me take Percy's thoughts on this whole league running before we come back to Percy. For this one, they do it justice to, because we are going to zero in on Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, and everything surrounding Liverpool. But let's look at the league and the running. Kofi has had his take on Arsenal. Do you think Arsenal will win the league?
From,
Put all your disdain for Arsenal
no.
aside.
From the beginning of the season, I had told you, go and check our first.
Yeah.
I said Arsenal or Liverpool. I said it.
They'll win the league.
And I stand by it.
They'll win the league.
One, because I have an interest in Arsenal winning the league.
Why?
Because for everything United is, there were things that was United's pride that was more or less like it was the icing on the cake. One was the winning of the only team to win the Champions League in Manchester. The second was the treble. And unfortunately, they are all gone. The third, which no team, not Liverpool, not United, not Chelsea has ever done, is to win the league 4 on a trot.
So before you continue, your only reason why you want
saying that
Arsenal to win the league
I didn't say my only reason. I said one of my interests is that one, that record should remain a virgin record. No one should break it.
Okay.
Because for everything that Liverpool is, for everything United is, whenever you talk about United, one of the things, even apart from the fact that United won the treble, is that United has won the treble twice in this Premier League era, which is unthinkable. Liverpool did it in the 70s and 80s. City has done it once. So if City goes on to win it 4 times, which is unprecedented, it actually gets them to that level that, okay, they've really arrived. And this is one of the most difficult times in the Premier League, and for Guardiola to do it in an era where Mourinho has passed through, Klopp has passed through,
Antonio Conte has
really
passed through,
puts him there. But the next thing is that I think Arsenal really deserves it.
Why?
I think it makes a beautiful football story for Arsenal to win this league. Because if you check where Arsenal started from, how Arsenal had become perennial underachievers for about years, since becoming invincibles in 2004, 2005, winning the FA Cup versus United, they literally, in fact, in 3 years, they could have cemented themselves or cemented some history, because 2004 they were invincible, 2005 they won the FA Cup, 2006 they went to the Champions League final and they lost, and the decline started. And it was all about Wenger. Wenger left, they had to bring in Unai Emery, there was a Ljungberg, and when Arteta came, in fact, Arteta was not even one that a lot of people actually wanted to see. And Arteta's story of about 5 years is one person who came into the team, dismantled the team completely. There is not a single player Arteta came to me that is still there. Not even one. He took virtually everything apart. From Aubameyang to go and check the first 11 who had played within this time.
So this is an Arteta team.
He took everyone out. He took everyone is off. Ozil, Alexis, Sanchez. Okay, he had left before he came. But I mean, all of those players who had been playing, every single one is gone. He had frozen players. In fact, big name players. Aubameyang was frozen out. Lacazette was forced to leave. And he had literally built a team and made a captain out of a young Odegaard. And you see, there have been stories where teams come close to winning the league and the next season they go off. Liverpool did it in 2014. It took them another 6 years before they got to that pedestal. But Arsenal had been consistent. They started from the 5th, then they went to the 4th, then they came to 6th. So last season we thought, okay, it was a one-season wonder. But no, the guy had really built a formidable, well-oiled machine. He had brought players who could play for him. So now in this Arsenal setup, there is you can't talk about there being egos. How many of them are achievers? There are no achievers in the team.
Kai Havertz.
For Kai Havertz, there's really, okay, you can say.
But for the Champions League, I mean,
Champions League, of course. Okay, let's say Kai Havertz, and
achiever.
maybe if you talk of Gabriel Jesus, he is a part player of City. He is not a mainstay that he was the main person.
I think that Gabriel Jesus, because he's won 4 Premier League.
He's won it,
titles.
okay,
Zinchenko,
Gabriel
4 Premier
Jesus.
League
But the
titles.
rest are all wannabes. A lot of them are outcasts. Odegaard has been an outcast. Real Madrid bought him 16 years. He was just here and there. Zinchenko, of course. In fact, it was a used up material at City. They just wanted to dispose him of because they wanted a left back to come. Of course, you can talk of Declan Rice. He is a player that wants to do something. So he has virtually brought up players who would play for him. He wants to bring up the era of when you had Mourinho starting up. he goes into a team, he brings players who want to play for him. So for Arsenal to move from one level to the other, and last season, after going toe-to-toe with City, to go to toe-to-toe with City for 2 consecutive seasons, it's Liverpool that we can give them that accord. But Arsenal,
nobody rewards you for going.
Of course. So
there's no prize for second place.
So that is what I'm saying, that it will be a very beautiful story. Okay. That if any young coach is starting, he can really learn from Arteta from it.
So you are being sentimental.
I'm not being sentimental. Everything Arsenal has done, it's not like luck came to meet them. Arsenal has created their own success.
Wrap up on the Arsenal bit.
So for me, I want Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win.
Is it a case of you wanting them to win?
The thing is one. I can't be a soothsayer and say that Arsenal will win. But if Arsenal win,
Kofi has been bold to say Arsenal won't win the league because City are so good enough that City win.
Now,
he's been bold.
I will say Arsenal will win the league because I don't trust City to win all their matches.
Wow.
And let me give you the reason.
Wow. Quick one. Because we need to go to our
One thing I always say that after self-actualization, what is next?
Wow.
This City crop of players, of course, Guardiola has found a way of cycling them over and over and over. But for this time round, I see that Arsenal are more hungry.
Don't you think
hungrier.
That I listen to,
and I see that City are not the City I saw last season. They are not the ruthless.
Speak to this, and then we'll wrap up on this. I listened to Rodri in an interview where he spoke, and clearly you could see their target is number 4. They want to be the guys that broke that record. I listened to Bernardo Silva as well, and you could see the pain with which they are speaking, missing out on the Champions League, and there's no way they'll miss out on this one. So for motivation, after this self-actualization thing, they are motivated to go for number 4.
I don't care if they are going for whatever.
They won't win.
What I am trying to say is that this is not the City that won 15, 16, 17. No, this is not the City.
Okay.
And I trust that even if you people are saying, no, and they will beat West Ham. You don't know. Anything could happen.
No, but you think Arsenal can come to Old Trafford?
Oh, of course, Arsenal will beat United at Old Trafford. For this, in fact, start this. Listen, this is not.
I don't trust your predictions.
Please,
I don't trust your predictions.
Arsenal, start this. Arsenal will not lose at Old Trafford.
Anyway,
no, they could draw.
Anyway, guys, if you just tune in, this is Sports 101. It's our Sunday Sports Roundup show. Those that are watching us live on YouTube, our guys in the diaspora, keep the super stickers coming. We appreciate your love and your effort. Trust me, we are so excited that you are with us on Sports 101. But we are streaming live as well on Facebook, so kindly share the link. I just take your phone and share the link. Let your guys join in the conversation. And we are looking at the league running. Kofi believes that there's no way Arsenal will win the league. Not because Arsenal are not good. Today is one of the days that I've enjoyed Kofi's submission because it's devoid of his, subtle, digs at Arsenal. He's been very, objective by saying it's not because Arsenal are good. He actually believes that Arsenal have been very, very solid this season. But he thinks that City have that edge over them because of the experience. That's the only reason why. Percy, on the other hand, has spoken about sentimental reasons and as well other reasons, but because of his own parochial interest, believes that to do the number 4. But what do you make of Arsenal's chances of winning the league? I'll come back and read your comment. But we're getting to the major conversation, and we have about 20 to 25 minutes to speak to this issue, and it's simple. Jurgen Klopp, at the end of his tenure at Liverpool, do you think that he deserves to be mentioned in the pantheon of great managers that have graced the Premier League? I know he will be inducted maybe because of what he represents for Liverpool fans. He will be inducted. But do you think that he would have earned being considered a legend in the Premier League as a manager? I will have my take, but obviously I want my guys to have their take. Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool in 2015 after an excellent stint with Borussia Dortmund. He took them to the Champions League final. They lost out to Bayern Munich. At the time was coming up, Real Madrid, the likes of Real Madrid were chasing, top clubs were chasing, but he chose Liverpool. So at the time Jurgen Klopp was coming to Liverpool, he wasn't Arne Slot, you know, a nobody. People knew him because of what he had done with Borussia Dortmund. But he spent 9 seasons at Liverpool, and in his 9 seasons, he's won the Premier League once, he's won the FA Cup once, he's won the Champions League once. The Champions League with a clause because that really you don't consider it as part of the Premier League. But in the context of the Premier League, it's the Premier League title once, FA Cup once, and the Carabao Cup twice. With what he's done in the Premier League, so let's not look at what he's done in Europe, because it's the Premier League we are talking about. The conversation is simple. Do you think that he should be considered as a Premier League great in terms of managers? Simple. Let us know what you think. I'll come back and read your comment. Kofi, let me start from Kofi. Jurgen Klopp.
You know,
Are we making so much noise about him? Does he deserve the noise?
well, I think he doesn't deserve the noise.
Okay.
And you know, when you start touching on subjects matter like Liverpool, like Jurgen Klopp, you obviously touch a lot of nerves. You understand, because it's one of the most traditional clubs in England, and the most successful club in England. I mean, I should put it that way. If you look at the trophies that they've won, you know, I would want to situate the whole conversation in this manner. First of all, I do not think that Jurgen Klopp left Dortmund in the most perfect of shapes before coming to Liverpool. Indeed, if you follow that, no, indeed, no,
let's focus
no, I'll
on
come there.
at Liverpool.
I'll come there. I think that indeed, if you followed our videos, there was a time where we mentioned the fact that Jurgen Klopp has not been able to undertake any successful rebuild. You look at his final season with Dortmund, he almost took them to relegation and was subtly fired. I think that the wedding of whatever had to happen because of the level of diplomacy and the level of mutual respect between the two teams. Yes, he comes to Liverpool. You know why Liverpool fans are excited about the whole subject matter of Klopp?
Tell us.
It's because for so many years they had been in the doldrums.
How many years? 18 plus years or so?
I mean, in the context of the league,
of the Premier League.
they had not won the league in 30 plus years.
30 plus years.
You understand? And yes, they had won some trophies with Gerard Houllier and all of. Gerard Houllier won another version of the treble. You understand? The UEFA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and I think the FA Cup. You understand? So
then Rafael Benitez also.
Benitez had, I mean, obviously, I mean, Liverpool are always a fixture in the Champions League. I mean, they are 6-star generals. I stand to be corrected.
Yeah,
6-star generals.
They belong to the pantheon of European elite. So
Exactly.
if you look at
Exactly.
the Champions League, teams that have won 3 consecutive times and 5,
Yeah,
there's a special bag.
Exactly.
United
Ajax,
is not
Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, AC Milan,
and the great
Real
Real
Madrid.
Madrid.
You understand?
Yes,
And they are winning it again this season, but that's just subtly. I mean, but you look at Jurgen Klopp before his arrival at Liverpool. Yes, a lot of noise had been made about Liverpool and the arrival of Jurgen Klopp, about the gen pressing, about his style of play. You know, let me put it this way. If Jurgen Klopp was a boxer, he'd probably be Bukom Banku.
No, that tangent. I just sighed. If Jurgen Klopp was a boxer,
he'll be Bukom Banku.
How? Why?
He has the penchant of making the fans excited. But when it comes to delivery,
But you think Jurgen Klopp did not
he
deliver at
has
Liverpool?
not delivered. End of story. I am surprised with your synopsis. That in the pantheon of greats, you know, there was a time people were not even shy to mention in the same conversation with Pep Guardiola, with Ferguson, to a large extent with Wenger, and to a large extent with Jose Mourinho. They put him in the same bracket. But listen, you and I are students of details. We do not care about the noise that people are making outside.
They
The
say
truth
the
of the
devil is
matter,
in the
the
details.
devil has always been in the details. The devil will always be in the details. Truth of the matter is that the guy has spent 9+ years at Liverpool. The only Premier League trophy he won. There was an era where we lived where we lived in an unusual world.
Let
we
me help
could
you with
play.
your argument.
No,
So,
hold on. Let
let
me
me help you
finish.
with your argument. So, Jurgen Klopp, yes, he spent 9 seasons at Liverpool. In the first 5 seasons, he went trophyless. He didn't win anything in relation to the Premier League. Nothing. If it was modern day football, trust me, he would have been fired by then. 5 seasons going trophyless. In those the remaining 4 seasons too, he bottled twice of the league, where he was on top of the Premier League, close to almost the end of the league. Remember that game where Mohamed Salah thought they had won when they were playing Wolves at home and City were playing Aston Villa. So he literally bottled 2, went 5 trophyless. And won.
We should add this season because he's been on top.
Yes, he's been on top more than
87
weeks.
That's so.
87 days.
But then others too would say, okay, we are here arguing that Klopp has spent 9 seasons in the league and won just 1. How about somebody who spent 23 years in the league and won just 3? Yet he was inducted in the Premier League Hall of Fame. That is
no, but if you did
because if you just
hold on.
The number of years in relation to the title.
If you were going to subject your argument to logical disposition, the point will be if 9 is equals to 1, then it will take him 27 to win 3.
Yeah. So it means he's
exactly.
F.
So if you are going by your mathematics, you understand? If you are going by your voodoo mathematics, then it will mean that Klopp will need 27 years to win 3 Premier League titles. And that would even mean that there is an unusual gathering in the world, because for the Premier League, that's Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool won. There were no supporters at the stadium. Indeed, my friends have made a joke that Liverpool and the club could not win the league when there were supporters in the stadium, where we would have to play 1 match, go home, rest for 3 weeks.
Do you think that's a fair assessment? Because guys, those watching us, we do not say Bayern won the Champions League in a COVID era. Nobody says that. We do not say Chelsea won the Champions League in a COVID era. Because,
and even my good friend Ateta, the only FA Cup in the COVID era.
Within the era that Bayern won their Champions League, they won it in that same COVID era. But nobody calls Bayern, they won the Champions League in a COVID era where there were no fans in the stadium. Chelsea won the Champions League in a COVID era but when it comes to Liverpool, we conveniently throw in that narrative.
No, because let me quickly land. I think that if you look at the record of Jurgen Klopp and the level of spending,
he doesn't deserve it.
And the level of spending, Liverpool fans will always be quick to introduce that clause, that net spend. You understand? That's hypocritic. You understand? They will come back with you on that whole theory about next spend. But the point is simple. Jurgen Klopp has spent over £1 billion at Liverpool on signing players.
That's true, though.
You understand? He spent over £1 billion. I mean, just a quick one.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, just a quick one. And I think that if you look at the level of spend, if you look at other managers in that same era, I mean, I can point to people like Conte. You understand? I can even probably save the Premier League. Tuchel.
It just came to my remembrance that Antonio Conte won the league with Chelsea in his first season. Without spending
more than 200 million seconds.
He won exactly. So it actually
look at Tuchel. He probably didn't win the FA Cup, but he won everything Jurgen Klopp won virtually.
So he
won the FA Cup, won the Champions League.
It makes your argument very strong, because if we want to hail Jurgen Klopp, who spent 9 seasons at Liverpool winning just 1 Champions League trophy, 1 league trophy, 1 FA Cup, and 2 Carabao Cup. Why are we not even mentioning Antonio Conte, who spent just 2 seasons, won the league in his first season with Chelsea, and won the FA Cup in his second season with Chelsea? But let me take some comments from YouTube. So Benjamin Hagen says the Lakers are gibberish. he goes ahead to say, you two are...
He started losing American language.
Exactly. You two are disappointed as Lakers fans. Okay, I'm not going to comment on Benjamin Higgins, Kofi, you're only clutching to technicalities to confuse us. You've simply been rubbish, speaking about Manchester United. So thank you so much to Christensen Kojo, who has given us some super stickers there. And Prince Gakwe also is supporting us with some super stickers there. Guys, thank you so much. And this is coming from Dr. Bizo. Arsenal will make light work of United. I believe so. I think Arsenal will beat United. He comes back to say, Arteta deserves praise even if he doesn't win the league. He's made Arsenal a competitor again. That's very, very true. I didn't expect Arteta to do this magic. He comes back to say, Percy, you are just allowing your games to blindfold you. City really won this record. I'm sure they wanted the back-to-back treble, but if you can't get that, they will get the 4-peat in a row. So I'll get to our Facebook, and thanks to all the guys that are watching us live on YouTube as well. Massive, massive respect to you. I'll get to Facebook and read the Facebook comments. But Percy, I mean, let me get, I chanced on, again, I went to the Premier League site, and I chanced on this money that has been, this money whole issue. So Jurgen Klopp in total has spent over £1 billion, as you said. But in relation to the net spend, he spent close to around 930 million. But money well spent, he's actually spent over £1 billion. If you do the math, this is the math. So he literally has won 7 trophies with Liverpool. And he spent over 132, almost 133 million pounds winning a single trophy. Whilst if you look at the managers he's competing with, on the other hand, City have won 14 major trophies. So if you do the math, City have spent just 73 million pounds per trophy. So it tells you that this issue of money does not hold. And I also went to the Premier League website, and what I saw was that Liverpool ranked as among the top 5 in terms of total expenditure in the last 6 seasons in the league. All the clubs in the United, Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool have spent over £1 billion. So the issue of Jurgen Klopp doesn't have the booty like City does have, I think is not true, because he bought the most expensive goalkeeper.
But the most expensive
defender.
Until Harry Maguire had to break the record. Yeah?
You know that if Caicedo had allowed himself, he would have spent 110
exactly, he would have bought the most expensive midfielder.
And Lavia too.
And Lavia too, over 80 million pounds. So
let me just go straight to it.
Does it belong in the class of Premier League?
Seriously, I don't even know who even brought that suggestion.
Why shouldn't he belong there?
Kofi, you even talked about Conte. Do you know what Ancelotti did with Chelsea in 2 years? Yeah. First season, he won a double. He won the league.
But nobody talks about this man.
It's
under the radar.
He came in 2009, 9-10. He went toe-to-toe with United. Won a double. After that, then the next season, that was when he went to the quarterfinals and exited. Nobody talks about him. Nobody mentions his name. The reason why I don't want us to blow this out of proportion is that this is Liverpool. You see, if you are talking about the greats, and you talk about someone like Claudio Ranieri, for what he did with Leicester, that is
absolutely.
That is like Xabi Alonso winning Bayern, Leverkusen, their first league in 114 years. Leicester is over 115 years, and he won them their first league trophy. That you can talk about a great in the Premier League. Now, when the Premier League started, how many managers have won the league? Ferguson, he has won it 13 times. You can talk of Wenger, he has won it 3 times. Guardiola, he has won it 5 times. Then you can talk about Mourinho, has won it 3 times.
Yeah.
After that, nobody has won it 2. It's 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. You can talk of Ancelotti winning 1. You can talk about Conte winning 1. You can talk about Klopp himself winning 1. And Ranieri winning 1.
Did Scolari win the league with Chelsea?
He never won the league. Okay. That was when the United was winning the 3-peat.
Yeah.
So he is in the league of Conte, Ranieri, and what was Ancelotti. And what Ancelotti did in 2 years, two. Now, with respect to the Premier League The trophies he has won, let's take away the trophy of what do you call it, a community shield. So he has won 2 Carling Cups, 1 FA Cup, 1 Premier League. That's 4 in 9. Ancelotti did it in 2 years. Conte did it in 2 years. Ranieri won 1 league title in 2 years. So all of the managers who have won it 1, none of them did it in a period of more than 2 years.
But guys, are we not being unfair
No.
To Jurgen Klopp? Because listen, if not for Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola would have literally swept the Premier League in the last.
But for Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola didn't win only 1.
You are saying
So
you
what's the
competed
point?
against him, but he has won 5 and
Yeah,
it's a
why?
competition. Listen, let me
But
tell
for
you.
Klopp,
no, let me tell you.
he would have
competition.
won only +1.
Competition is the period between 1997, 1998, and 2004. United won 4, Arsenal won 3.
Yes.
That United won 8-9. That was before that. Arsenal won 97-98. That was when Wenger came first.
Yeah.
United won 8-9, 9-10. That is 8-9, 2000, 2001, 2002. Then Arsenal came 2001, 2002.
That was the proper
then United
competition.
won 2000, 2003.
Okay.
Then Arsenal won 2000, 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one is 4 is to that one is competition. Or you can talk about Chelsea United.
Okay.
Chelsea won 04, 05, 5, 6.
When Jose
United
Mourinho
did
was here,
7,
yeah.
8, 9. Then Chelsea came to do 9, 10. United did 10, 11. That one was 3 is to 4. That is a competition.
Okay.
You are saying you are competing against a person. The person wins 5. You win 1. And you call that competition.
Let me take this comment from our Facebook, and we'll wrap up. You know, we have a short time to end the show. We didn't even talk about Anslot, but there's lots of time to talk about Anslot. We'll go into that extensively next week. So this comes from on Facebook. I'm taking the comments from Facebook. Arsenal still stand a chance, and so Pius believe that Arsenal do stand a chance. Liverpool fans, I say, Klopp will be regarded as a very, very important manager for Liverpool. I'm glad that the person has.
said it from Liverpool.
I'm glad that the person has put it in context. Then he goes ahead to say, in the Premier League, I think 3 league titles would have made him a hero. City just made it impossible. As long as Pep is in charge, any manager will play second fiddle, and that's a fair assessment to make, because I'm looking at, and I started to think about what Pep is going to do in the next 2-3 years with the kind of managers that they are trying to employ.
But he's leaving next season. His contract is next season.
He will renew. Pep has started. This is from Kofi Mensah. Pep has started the Premier League. Arsenal will win the league. There are a lot of people who are giving Arsenal fans a lot of hope that Arsenal will win the league. But Kofi, let's quickly wrap up. On the show, Jurgen Klopp. In the eyes of Liverpool fans, like you said, they have not won the league in 30+ years. He comes back. One, he makes them very, very competitive. At that one, we need to attest to that fact. He made Liverpool exciting to watch. He created a connection between the fans and the team. When Liverpool played at Anfield, they were literally invisible, compared to when they go away. So you could see he brought that love back. But yes, he won just 1 Premier League title. Is that not enough for his body of work at Liverpool to be appreciated enough in the context of the Premier League? 60 seconds.
Well, like I said, like Percy went on to suggest, I don't think that Jurgen Klopp is any different from Carlo Ancelotti. I don't think he's any different from Antonio Conte. I don't think he's any different from Claudio Ranieri. I don't think he's any different from the Blackburn manager who won the league in the you understand? No, it wasn't Marcus.
It's their own money. It's their own former player.
Yes. I'll get the name for you. So I don't think that he's any different from any of those managers. Probably it's been this way. It's been exaggerated because, yes, like you said, it's Liverpool. You understand? It's Liverpool, and everything associated with Liverpool. Kenny Douglas. Yes, I mean, everything associated with Liverpool is a bit magnified. I don't think
because
that,
of Liverpool fans are loud.
You know, I'm
They're
happy
louder
the
than
message.
Chelsea
I'm
fans?
happy the message you
Well,
read
from
on.
Liverpool-
Yeah, I mean, in the context of Liverpool, he's an important manager to
He's a
them.
legend to them.
That's fine. In the context of Liverpool, he's a legend to them. That's
But in
fine.
the context of the Premier League,
I don't think he's a
he doesn't
legend.
belong there.
I
No,
don't think that he even needs to be
Kofi
inducted into the Premier League Hall of
believes
Fame.
that, oh, that's huge. I'll come back to that. But we put out a poll on our page. Is Arsenal poised to win the Premier League? 63% actually voted yes. So there are a lot of people who
Those
believe
are Arsenal
that,
fans. I mean, come on.
come on, guys. Come on, guys. But there are a lot of people who believe that, listen, Kofi is not an Arsenal fan. But Kofi believes that, listen,
Who, Kofi
Arsenal,
Mensah?
yes, Arsenal win the league.
Oh,
And
no, Kofi
Kofi
Mensah
just
that-
supported
Kofi-
us
Kofi
with,
Mensah-
some super stickers.
Kofi Mensah
Guys,
doesn't
we love you
believe
so
that.
much. Keep the super stickers coming. You know, it's boosting our morale to, you know, do more.
Kofi Mensah
But-
doesn't believe that. I mean, Arsenal
you
will
said
win.
that
No,
Arsenal
no,
win
no,
the
no,
league.
It's
no,
for the
no.
cameras.
For the cameras,
Pius
man.
says Arsenal win the league.
No, it's
There are
for
a
the
lot of
cameras.
guys who have commented saying
Pius
Arsenal
himself,
win the league.
Pius himself is very disappointed in Liverpool.
So 63% believe that Arsenal will win the league. 36% believe that Arsenal are not winning the league. Facebook as well will put out that same poll. And will Arsenal win the league? So there are more no's on Facebook than there are more yes on Facebook. But on YouTube, the guys believe that Arsenal are poised to win the league. Next week, we'll again, you know, center on Liverpool, and I'm sure by next week we'll probably be itching closer to who is winning the league, and the conversation will get better. We're going to look at. We didn't get time to look at Anslot. I don't know if his name. I'm getting
Welcome
it right.
to hell.
Well, you know, someone told me that the Liverpool have made a big mistake, and they might regret it because these Dutch managers,
Come on,
when they
tell them that we have the best Dutch manager, and we are suffering.
And so they call
Welcome
him
to hell.
Guardiola AI. Guardiola.
So we'll look at Anslot and Liverpool and what this means for Liverpool going forward. And this whole Mohamed Salah, he says that if I speak, it will be fired. That I think it was a useless comment of him.
Some people think
No.
it's just for the cameras.
No,
you know,
but I
you
think
know the
that
final,
he shouldn't have said that because-
the final season is being documented.
Yeah.
So there's a documentary on Klopp's final season at
It
Liverpool.
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, some
Interesting,
people
it'll be
think that
interesting
it's
to know what
prescripted.
happened.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's been an exciting show. I mean, on Sundays we have fun. We give you intellectual discussions. We give you everything that you need in relation to sports. This has been our sports roundup. We stream concurrently on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So I'm told that we do have some little time to spare. But guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Our diaspora friends, you know, Kofi Mensah, Christensen, you know, I've forgotten the other person. Yeah, Prince. Thank you so much for the support. Keep supporting us, but make sure you like our videos. You subscribe to the channel. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel on Sport 101. And on Facebook as well is Sports 101. Like the page, you know, comment on the videos. We are doing this with you. And so, again, the poll, 63% believe that Arsenal, the Belgian league. And I love Arsenal. Arsenal.
Arsenal
That
will-
tune has
Arsenal
become
will really-
very, very memorable in my
Arsenal
ears, you know.
will really turn this around. You know, this year is just like 2004, where there were
And it's
lots
been
of
20 years since, so someone told me history would beckon. And
yeah,
Arsenal
2004. There were
would-
surprises.
Yeah.
Greece won the UEFA or the Euros. Arsenal won the league.
I don't trust them.
You know, last season, he was one of the false prophets on the show.
You gave me a
Make
lot of
people
hope
lose
that
money.
City will not win the Champions League. Led me astray.
No, City went, for the Champions League, City went somewhere.
Oh, my.
City, in fact,
Massa.
City, they determined their own fate. They went somewhere.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Next week, same time, 6 o'clock. So we've switched the time up a little bit. We will come your way 6 o'clock p.m. or 18, 00 GMT, and we go all the way to 7 p.m. And hopefully, maybe if we talk to the producers, we can extend the time a little bit, but it's 6 to 7 p.m. both on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week. It's been myself, Kofi Asedu, and Percy. This is Sports 101.